All right, ladies, I wanted to give you a quick little tutorial on the Nail Art Studio. I had a couple questions on it, so I thought I'd walk you through it real quick. My first suggestion would be to use the Chrome browser or Firefox or something of the like. I found that using the Internet Explorer, I would have a lot of uploading issues, so use at your own risk. So I'm using Chrome right now, and when you guys go to your website, you want to click on Nail Art Studio. And then when you're in here, you're going to agree to the terms. This is how it's going to look, and you want to make sure that your files you're using are of 150 pixels per inch or higher. I know we're working with nails here, they're not very big, but if you guys are enlarging anything or zooming in, you don't want it to be pixelated. So just definitely make sure to have at least 150. You don't need to go crazy, but like 150 to 200-ish DPI. So if you have your files all ready to go when you're in here, you're just going to select File and go find your files wherever they may be. And for the sake of being, I'm going to do Mary Poppins today. And you can upload multiple files, so let me go ahead and select some more. Let's see here. Yeah, let's do the typewriter. Okay, so I've got these ones, and I'm just going to hit Upload. And this is where I ran into issues with Internet Explorer, was that when it got to 100%, it just would never show up down here. So no matter how long you wait. So that's why I use Chrome. Once your pictures are uploaded and they are showing up down here, to use them, you just click on them, and ta-da, it'll show up. When you kind of scroll over this, you'll be able to see the outline of the nail and how big or small your image is. To size it up and down, you're going to use these little toggles. The line in the middle is used to show you kind of where you want your subject matter to be. If you get too close to the center line, people's nails are not normally that long. Think about how much extra you're usually cutting off. So you want to keep your material smaller than what you probably would think. So I would think that that actually is probably pretty good, because if this is a toenail, because this is the big one, I mean, yeah, you want to err on the side of being too small. And then I'm going to put Mary Poppins on the other side just to show you guys a little bit of what you can do. Now, because I'm putting Mary on this side, I want her to be flipped around so that she's facing me when I'm wearing her. So I'm going to rotate her 180 degrees, and that flips her over. And then when I have her on this side, I'm just going to size her down. Now, I think this is too big still. Her umbrella is going to get cut off on somebody's nails. So I'm going to size her down some more. And I know it looks so small, but you guys will be happy that you sized it down, because you don't want it to get cut out of the picture. Okay, so that's what I would say I would do for that nail, for these nails, okay? I guess I can move her up a little bit. So after you have that done and you have your nail the way you want it to look, there's a couple ways to apply it. You can just hit apply, and it'll apply it to whatever nail you were on. So I was on this nail. If you wanted to go ahead and apply it to multiples, you can select apply to multiples. You can apply to all. And the reason I'm actually showing you the apply to all is because I want you to see that when I did it on the large one, it's going to stay the same all the way down. So you're going to want to go back in and possibly resize everything so that it's going to fit on each individual nail. Now, a way to maybe, well, so you'd still have to do it, but a way to avoid it would be to start on the smaller nail, size them down, and then they would be tiny on the big one, but you could always make it bigger if you wanted to. But so something to think about. Now, if you want to add a couple of different designs, you can technically do a different design on every single finger. I'm going to show you guys how to use the Jamberry designs. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these guys. And to delete them, you just select them, and you can tell they're selected with the green little buttons. And delete. And then delete. And then I'm going to go to Jamberry designs, and I'm going to select the stripes, and I'm going to do some sort of Jamberry color here. Oh, pretty. All right, so I'm going to choose this one. Select. Okay, so this is how it shows up, and you have a couple different options here. You can leave them bigger and you can have them spaced out more. You can always size it down and do smaller lines if you wanted to. So like for instance, I'm doing this on this side, select it again, enter, and then size it down again, and you can make them as small as you want to. You can even do different colors. But for the sake of being, I'm going to delete this. I'm going to make it big. And I'm going to say that I'm going to go ahead, and after you have it centered the way you want it, I'm going to add this to multiples. I'm going to add this to a couple of random ones throughout. Hit apply to selected. And you'll see down here that they're added just to those individual ones. So this is how you can go through and make individual ones just exactly the way you want them to be, which is kind of fun. Okay, this is just a little insert to add a color in the background to your images. And so this, I'm just going to show you guys real quick. When you're in here, if you go to the Jamberry Designs, this solid gray, if you click on it, you can select a color. And I'll just select, you know, whatever, another Jamberry color. And you'll see it all here. And like I said before, you can add just to one nail. You can add a couple different colors, go in and add different colors. But for the sake of being right now, I'm going to add to all. So I have my color on my nails. And then to add a file to this, you want to make sure that your file that you're using, if you're going to be using a color in the background, is a PNG file, because that'll have the transparent background if it already had it before. So I have right here, I've saved Mary Poppins as a transparent background here, and I'll upload it. And when I put her in here, I didn't do a very good job on the transparent background, but it'll give you the idea. So now I can resize her and make her to whatever, and it'll show up on the background like that. If you guys exactly the way you want them, and you've previewed them here, I highly recommend making a preview copy. So click on the preview button. And while this is rendering, sometimes when you pull this up, not all the nails will show up, like you'll be missing a couple. I kind of wish that would happen right now, but sometimes people will be missing like 2 here and 1 here, and I mean, you'll know. It probably means your images are just really large, and so I recommend, you know, clicking out of here and then hitting preview again and doing that a couple times, because you'll find every time you regenerate it that a couple more will show up or a different one will be missing, and eventually you'll get it so that they all show up. When they all show up, make sure that it is exactly the way that you intended for it to look. I also recommend, based on personal experience from the ones I made, err on the side of a lighter color. If you're in between or you're thinking, gosh, I want to be really true to color, I found that everything printed just a little bit darker than it actually looked on my screen. So like this purple will probably be more of a darker Jamberry purple than what I'm actually seeing right here. So just err on the side of lighter. And then I always save a PDF version of this just to have for my records to make sure. And if you're doing it for a client, you can always send it to them. So I save it as a PDF, or I open it as a PDF and then save it. So it's going to open for me. Okay, there it is. And then this is what we usually save. So just hit the save button and save it to whatever you want, wherever you want. And I already have one named that, so I'm going to replace it. And then after you have that, you just X out. Everything's the way you want it, so you're going to go ahead and purchase. And when you're in the purchase section, it's going to show you the number of your design and the cost. Now here's the $6 setup fee right here. If I decided I was going to get 12 of these, okay, this exact design, I only have one setup fee because it's the same design. So I'm getting one for, what is it, $25, no, $24.75, and then the others are all $18.75 a piece. If you went through and were doing 6 different designs and you were buying them one at a time, or so have you, it would be a $6 setup fee for every design that you did. So just keep that in mind. That's how the $6 setup fee works. That's why it benefits people to buy them in bulk, which is also a reason I recommend these for fundraising events and such. So that's how that works. And I'm not buying these because I don't need Mary Poppin nails, but I hope that that was helpful for you guys. And if you have any other questions, let me know. But I think that that covers the bases. So yeah, good luck, guys.